guys, it's coffee time at like 2:15 in the morning. That makes sense. Why not drink coffee at 2:15 in the morning? Question mark. I didn't really realize what today was going to wind up being. I didn't realize what my evening was going to be. So I had to do the podcast at Warp Zone House again. BT Dubs, Davis, Will of DC, and Schroeder, you guys are amazing. Thank you for letting me do that 2 weeks in a row. I feel so bad. I don't think that scheduling issue is going to happen again in the future, so that's good. But anyway, so this morning I left and went to do all that. And then I wound up getting like sidetracked for quite a while. But not too long ago I got home and somehow out of the blue, like out of nowhere, I like came home and I was working on rendering stuff for McBeasy, and so many people wound up at our house, and it just turned into this weird impromptu game night that was so strange but really awesome. Like, okay, I had never played Dominion before, and Sean, day 9, was over, and he brought Dominion, so he was like explaining it to me, and he taught it to Aaron Lee and Ro and Aaron Lee's brother Robbie, and so the 5 of us all wound up playing. And Jeannie had never played Magic before, so Mike was teaching Jeannie how to play Magic. Like, there was just so much going on. There was so much happening. Dominion's really cool, by the way. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to Ascension. They feel very different to me, though. Like, playing it, like, I don't know, like, strategies to it were different, and it's not quite as, like, hatredy, if that makes any sense. Like, when I'm playing Ascension, so much of it is like the harshness, right? Like, you either banishing cards that other people want, or you're taking cards that other people want. You're like trying to screw each other over. But with Dominion, it's so much all about yourself, because the decks don't change. Like, the possible action cards that you can get, it doesn't change, right? So I don't know, it's much less there's less competitiveness that happens, if that makes sense. I mean, some of the action cards do bone everybody else, which I wound up, like, loving those cards. The Saboteur was great, and what was the other card that I kept using? Oh, what was that card? Oh my gosh. I had, like, 3 of them in my hand by the end. What was it called? Torturer? Was that a card? Was that it? I can't remember. But Dominion was pretty awesome. I really, really liked it. Had a lot of fun with that. And we wound up playing for so long. Like, so long. Everybody was over here until not too long ago. And again, it's now almost 2:20, so... oh, Jesus. But that's okay. It was very, very fun. I had a lot of hilarious things happen tonight because there were just so many funny people in the house. And Sean, like, went on a rampage wanting to give everybody back rubs, and he was like trying to give he was trying to give Husky a back rub, but Husky's like very sensitive, so he was like, "Oh, don't, like, if you're gonna do this, it's got to be like, it's got to be like soft." So they were having like this weird like sensual massage party like off in the corner, and then later Sean was like cracking everybody's backs, which, by the way, he's very good at. And then we were all like gossiping about people we knew, but for the most part there wasn't a whole lot of overlap in terms of like who knew who, so it was just talking about people without having faces to the person, and just be like, oh, yeah, that, it's a guy, it's a dude, don't worry about it. I drank so much coffee. So much coffee. There was a blanket, because the table was Magic the Gathering, and then the floor was Dominion. And so we were all sitting on blankets, but there was this one blanket that Ro has that she got at Costco that's like super fuzzy, and it wound up being like the sexual blanket. It was like the super sexual blanket, because anytime somebody laid on it, they like had to lay like they were in a pinup calendar. It was so funny. And at first it was like joking, but it kept happening. Like if somebody decided they wanted to lay on that blanket, you would just automatically lay that way without even realizing it. It was, I don't even know what it is. It like incites it. It's just like, oh, I just wanna lounge. Just wanna lounge on this big old blankie. I don't know, it was great. And I wound up picking everybody's mugs, which was really fun. Because I was like, oh man, I'll make the coffee. So I went in and made the coffee. And I offhandedly made the comment of, oh, and now I get to choose what mug everybody gets. And so Sean and Aaron were yelling at me. They were like, you gotta pick mugs that like reflect our personalities. Like you have to pick mugs that like that will apply to us somehow. So I said, all right. So I've got the Little Red Riding Hood one that has like a tiny little girl with dark brown hair. So I was like, oh, Ro loves Little Red Riding Hood. It kind of looks like Ro on the mug, so I have to give that one to Ro. And then there's the white one that one of you sent me that has like the shark in it. I was like, oh, Erin's nickname is Killer, so I've got to give her that one. And then the other two people that wanted coffee were Jeannie and Sean. And Jeannie, there's one in there. I was like looking around everywhere. I was like, I don't know what one applies to Jeannie because like Jeannie's like my super sarcastic, hilarious friend. I was like, man, which one applies to Jeannie? And then I have the like crazy samurai one that Courtney gave me forever ago. I was like, all right, it has to be the samurai one. And then way up in the top, I have all of my like huge mugs. And one of my mugs it's literally like giraffe print. It's like a tall giraffe print mug, and then the handle is the neck of a giraffe, like all twisted around. And I was like, I'm totally gonna use this one for Sean. So I like pour the coffee in all of them, and I was giving them to all of them, and all of the girls were like, oh, ours are so funny. And I gave the giraffe one to Sean, and his first comment was, oh, it's a big mug because I need a lot of coffee. And then he picks it up and he goes, this giraffe looks like its neck is broken. What are you trying to tell me? Did not even realize. I've never thought that in my life, that the giraffe's neck is like twisted in the most awkward way ever. But now that's all I'm ever going to think about is like, oh, that poor giraffe. Poor giraffe. The other animal ones that I have are the elephant one, where the trunk is the handle, and do I still have the cheetah one? The cheetah one, the handle is just a cheetah. It's literally like the body of a cheetah, and you're like, ah. I don't know. It was fun. It was fun going through and being like, oh, which one do I use? Because I just have so many now. So I got to kind of go through them, but it took me forever. They were like, you don't have the coffee yet? You don't have the coffee? Good times. Ah, yeah, that was really fun. Especially since I was not expecting it. But I felt bad because I wasn't able to get, like, it took me forever to get news done. Because I recorded it ahead of time. I recorded it, like, the second I got home. And then I was like, okay, I'll edit this, I'll, like, go out and make coffee and then go back in and edit it. But because there was, like, so much gaming going on, I was just like, oh, I want to play. I want to know how to play Dominion. I want to do all this. So I waited to edit it and then realized that it was past midnight. I was like, and I hadn't filmed this either. I was like, oh no, I'm failing everybody. What have I done? Yeah. So, but it was, oh gosh, it was hilarious. Lots of lols were had tonight. And I think we're starting to get a handle on the ant situation, but we really, like, it's getting to the point where we need to bring somebody out here. Like, humane or inhumane, I don't even know. Just something to keep the ants from coming in our house, because it is out of control. It is so out of control. I still haven't been invaded again. Sorry. I like looked right where they've come in before and was literally hallucinating an ant. And I was like, oh, and then I realized it was like it wasn't actually there. Anywho, but yeah, so that was my evening and my day with doing the podcast and all that. But I hope you guys had a good day. Sorry that this is coming out so late. But I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.